Okay, ready? Okay, ready?
Ready.
Good.
Open the line.
That one coming down the lane?
Yeah.
Got him away.
Is that the pilot?
Yeah.
Okay, Sierra Bravo, India Bravo.
Yeah, India Bravo.
Slight bit of a turn to the left so we can get out to the east of that K13. So I'm just going to pull you forward to the turn left.
Yeah, okay, no worries. Ring runner, we're just going to hang to the left slightly. Just hold back.
You happy with that direction?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mr. India Bravo departing just left of 1.
There we go. Good, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's early enough in the morning that the sun's not really heating up the ground yet, so there's no turbulence for us to fight against. So we're literally going to follow him all the way up to 3,000 feet.
How long does it take to get up?
It takes about 5 or 6 minutes usually. So while we're up here, okay, one of the most important things is look out, okay, and you can help me with this. So what I'd like you to do is, you can scan basically, if you look out towards the right wingtip, and then if you scan back towards the middle, above and below the horizon, and then a quick check of your instruments, and then have a look out to the left and repeat the process back to the middle. If you look above and below the horizon, if you see another aircraft, let me know, and I'll do the same, alright? Yeah. Yeah, we're up to about 700 feet now. Are you local, Paul?
Yeah.
Whereabouts do you live?
We live on Langford Village.
Okay. So Langford Village is down to the left at about 2 o'clock. Sorry, down to the right at 2 o'clock. My apologies.
Yeah,
can you see it?
Yeah, that's
it?
There, isn't it? Yeah.
Whereabouts on Langford Village do you live?
We're actually on Mallard's Way, which is New Langford. So there's a green field in between.
Yeah.
And we're on that bit just after the square block.
I can see, yeah. Well, he's probably going to take us over that part.
Yeah, you got the school just down there.
Yeah, that's right. And then you can see Bicester Village on the edge of town. Can you see it? If you go left, and then you can see the bypass road going straight, sort of. Yeah, and then you can see Bicester Village there. That's it. And that's it. And then the other side of Bicester Village, you got the new housing development that you can see there. And you can easily see the new Sainsbury's in town. Look.
Oh yeah. Different perspective over here.
It is, isn't it?
You'll have to kind of almost get your eye in.
Yes. And that's the thing about looking out for other air traffic as well, is that your eyes are not accustomed to looking at stuff on different altitudes to you know. So when we scan from right to left and then from left to right, we look above and below the horizon, and to start with it takes a bit of practice, you know, for you to be able to spot something that's coming slightly below us.
Yeah. That's now when you see that that's like you see visibility clear as day.
Yeah.
And I guess we come on the motorway, we'll be up here.
That's right. The motorway is actually, if you look down about 2 o'clock down to the right, you can see the motorway junction. See all the lorries coming up to it? That's it. And then you've got the A34 going off where those lorries are coming off of, and then the motorway runs from left to right.
Wide out down there.
Yeah, that's it. So we're just coming up to 2000. See the solar farm down to our left, look?
Oh wow, I never knew that was there.
Yeah.
That's really close to us.
Yeah, it's the other side of Graven Hill. See all these big buildings down to our left?
Yeah.
They circle round Graven Hill. You can see the woods on the top, look. Literally just down to the left. That's the hill you can see when you look out towards the south.
Yeah.
Doesn't look very big from up here, does it?
No, it's tiny.
Can you see the airfield? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Stuff out.
Yeah. But if you look carefully, the other side of town, about middle distance, you can actually see the new incinerator at Ardley. It's almost out directly to our 9 o'clock. You have to go right the way across the other side of town, look out about half a dozen fields, and then you can see it. You'll see the chimneys and the grey building. Yeah.
Oh, I can see our house.
Can you?
Yeah,
good.
We're on the corner there. Oh yeah, you can pick them out really well. You've got the football fields.
Yeah.
Just up from that.
So there's 2,500 feet.
It doesn't feel effortless. Wow.
Yeah. But it is while we're being towed behind him.
Oh.
We can't obviously climb on our own. Once we're released, the only thing we have is basically gravity is our energy.
Yeah.
Unless the sun warms up the ground enough to produce thermals that rise up that we can climb in, we basically just start a long glide towards the ground. That's right, yeah.
You can see the airfield now.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll be looking at making sure we get on the way back.
So we're actually right near cloud base if you look above your head. We're just underneath the bottom of the clouds.
Yeah.
Above Vista, we can only go to 5,000 feet because that's where the commercial airliners are. Oh. Right, I'm going to release now. So there'll be a clunk and we'll climb off to the left.
Wow, well, that is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
India Bravo, thank you very much. And we're on our own.
Wow, that's amazing.
So we're doing about 45 miles an hour. Just a shade under if you look at your speedo. Yeah, the one on top left with the yellow band on it, that's it. Yeah. That's our speedo. And if you look at the one below that to the left, you see that's about 200 feet a minute down. Yeah, that's our glide because there's no thermals for us to climb in. And that's about our glide. So let's aim back towards town. Right, so what I want you to do is, if you look out ahead of us, and if you notice the relationship between the top of your instrument panel and the horizon, okay? That we call that our normal gliding attitude, okay? And we're traveling at about 50 knots. Now if you put your right hand on the stick, okay, notice that gliding attitude that we have. If I want to go faster, I ease forward on the stick, the nose goes down, more ground comes into view, and the glider accelerates. Yeah? If I want to slow down, then I ease back on the stick, the nose comes up, we have less ground in view, and the glider slows down. Now, if I keep the nose above the normal gliding attitude, the glider will continue to slow down, and I move the stick back and nothing happens, and eventually it will stall, and the nose goes down on its own, look.
Oh, wow.
And the glider actually stalls, and to recover I need to ease the stick forward, regain flying speed, and then return to the normal gliding attitude. Just like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a go? Right, my hands are off the stick.
Right.
Okay, so ease forward on the stick. A little bit more. There we go. There we go, more ground in view, and we accelerate.
Wow.
If you ease back on the stick now, keep coming back. That's it. Keep coming back. And if you keep pulling the stick back to try and hold us there,
Yeah.
keep going, keep pulling the stick back, keep that nose up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, the speed's disappearing, keep pulling the stick back. Yeah, the nose goes down on its own once you lose flying speed.
Wow.
And then you ease the stick forward to recover. And then once we get back to flying speed, return the glider to the normal attitude. So just bring the nose up gently and hold it there. Perfect. Okay?
Wow.
And that's how we do that. So I have control again. But if you have your right hand on the stick, now if you notice, if you look out the front there on the horizon, our wings are level, okay? The horizon is flat, all right? Now if the wings are not level, the picture looks like this out of the front. If you look out of the front, okay, the wings aren't level, you know, wings aren't level, okay? So what we can do is that we can roll the glider and therefore turn. So with your hand on the stick, we're going to make a turn to the left, okay? Now the procedure for doing this is we want to look left first to make sure that we're not turning into anybody. Then we look out over the front, because that's how we judge our bank angle. We move the stick to the left, the glider rolls. Once we get the desired bank angle, we centralize the stick, and then we just hold a little tiny bit of back pressure to stop the nose from dropping like this. Okay? And the glider is turning. We're banked and therefore turning. Okay?
You can go right 360.
That's it, yeah, we can go 360 degrees around. And if we want to level off, we look out to the right to make sure we're not leveling off into anybody. We then move the stick to the right, look out at the horizon to judge when the wings are level, and centralize the stick. Easy as that.
And then you change the direction.
Yeah, that's it. We're now going in a completely different direction. So now you can do it on your own. All right. So look out to the left. Make sure there's no one there coming up behind us, as far around as you can. Then you look over the nose to judge the bank angle, and now move the stick to the left. That's it. And then centralize there. And now just hold a little bit of back pressure. Okay, just bring the wings level again, a bit more to the right. That's it, hold it there. Okay, so look to the left. Right, look over the nose to judge the bank angle. Right, move the stick to the left. Nice and positive. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Centralize there. And now just hold a little bit of back pressure. There we go. And now we're turning.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
first time we weren't.
No, we didn't bank far enough. Okay?
Wow.
And now if you centralize the stick there, look right, and then centralize, move the stick to the right, and roll out. There we go. Nice. You see how the nose wants to come up when we come out of the turn? That's because we're moving all of the lift back into the middle, so the nose wants to come up, so you just have to check forward slightly. So let's try one to the right then. So let's look right. Okay, there's no one there. Let's move the stick to the right. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and then centralize, and then just hold a little bit of back pressure to stop the nose from dropping. And now we're turning.
Wow.
Now if you look down at the right wingtip, you can't judge your bank angle, because all you can see is ground. So we use the nose to judge the angle of our bank, and you can see we're at about 30 degrees there. And we're turning.
Wow.
Excellent, hey?
That's amazing.
Good. Right, I have control again.
You have control.
Thank you very much. So if you put your feet in the pedals, the whole time you haven't been feeling what they've been doing, okay? But most people assume that actually rudder pedals turn the glider, like on a boat. They don't at all. All we do is we use them to coordinate the turn, because we've got long wings. So as long as I keep the wings level, if you notice out the front, doesn't matter how much rudder I put in, the glider does not turn, it just side slips. And if I go the other way, we just side slip. We're not actually turning. You know, all I do is use the rudder to turn. So if you put your hand on the stick and your feet on the pedals, if I do a turn to the right now, so I look right, no one's there, look back over the nose, and I stick and rudder to keep that yaw string on your canopy in the middle, centralise everything. And you notice how that yaw string is nicely down the middle?
Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't coordinating the turn, if I didn't use the pedals, when I roll out, look at that yaw string swing.
Yeah.
You see? If I don't use the rudder, everything swings, so you have to use the rudder to keep the turn coordinated.
Yeah, just keep everything in line.
That's right. Now the glider can, obviously the stall we did was quite gentle, but a little bit more of an aggressive version of the stalls. If I bring the nose up really too high and the speed comes off real too quickly, you know, the glider stalls and the nose drops on its own like that. Ease the stick forward to recover, regain flying speed, and then we're back. And we can also turn quite steeply as well. And I can put a little bit of G-force in the turn. Nice, eh? Right, she's all yours then. So hand on the stick, I'll do the rudder pedal, so you keep your feet off the rudder. Just ease the stick forward, we don't want to lose too much speed. That's it, we want to be, there we go, just about there. So if you do a turn to the right now, so have a look to the right, that's it. Roll the stick to the right, there we go. Centralise, then just ease back on the nose just slightly. There we go. And we'll fly over towards your house. So if you level off just there, that's it. And then just check the nose forward. My hands are off the stick now, so it's all, she's all yours. You see the plane just crossing in front of us, look, left to right?
Yeah. Is that from the airfield or is that?
No, that's another aircraft. So just keep your nose down. We want it to do 50 knots. He's well out of the way. You can see that he's flying level, but we're going down. So he started out below us, and now we're gliding down through his altitude. So it's important to be able to see them as they're below you.
So down, because I'm a little bit below flying speed. So
yeah, 45 is okay. Yeah, there's another glider to our left behind us. So I just want you to concentrate now. If you look out to the right, I'm going to do a turn and you see if you can spot your house. It should be below us. There's the fields.
Yeah, I can see it there.
Yeah?
One of the townhouses.
And I'll turn to the left the other way. You should be able to see it out the left.
Oh, I've lost my bearings now. Oh yeah, down directly below us now.
Excellent.
Yeah. Really clearly.
Yeah.
You've got to have your wits about you, haven't you, Lee? Because when I was just taking the controls a second ago, I went to fly and I took the controls. I must admit, I found myself not then looking around.
No, and that comes with a little bit of practice. You know, it's like when you learn to drive a car, ride a motorcycle. Yeah. You know, can you see the glider off to our left? About 10, 11 o'clock. You see it circling? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that you're looking out for before he becomes a problem to us.
Yeah.
And
it takes. He'll be doing the same.
Yes,
won't he?
that's exactly right. And obviously, you know, when you're learning to drive a car, you first concentrate on what you're doing so much that you don't really see what's going on outside. And once you learn to control the glider properly, then you get used to it. So, okay, we're down to 1,200 feet. So we'll be thinking about our circuit soon. The airfield's off to our left.
I was going to say, what kind of height do you start?
Well, we start the landing pattern at about, in this wind, about 1,000 feet, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, well,
you don't want to be caught.
No, we don't. Yeah. Otherwise, we end up landing in a field and we look silly. So he's starting his circuit now. Look, if you look at about 2 o'clock, so he's heading off down on his circuit. So we're going to go in behind him. But first, I'm just going to show you a little bit of positive and negative G-force. So if I go down here, I'm going to put some speed on. I'm going to give you about 2 Gs. And then -1.
Oh.
It's good, isn't it?
Wow.
So we're down to 1,000 feet, so we need to think about landing soon. And obviously the checks that I went through before we took off, we also have to do landing checks. So your straps are nice and secure, I know that, good. My straps are nice and secure. We don't have any water on board. Our undercarriage is down because it's fixed on this glider. And now we're going to start our circuit pattern because we're down to about 900 feet. So the first thing we do is we're going to fly a downwind leg. And you feel how it's starting to get bumpy now?
Yeah.
That's because we're flying now into the warm turbulent air near the ground.
Oh, okay.
Okay, later on in the day that warm turbulent air would be much higher and would enable us to actually stay airborne for a little while.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do one more turn out here because we're still a little bit too high. But that turbulent air is what's the heat being generated off the ground.
Yeah.
And you will actually see our sink rate going up and down now. If you look at that bottom left instrument, it'll vary between 200 down and 0 and, you know, a bit more than 200 down. So, yeah, that's right.
And is there a kind of a set approach that you take to get here?
Yeah, I'll talk you through it. So this is our high key. Okay, we're now going to fly a downwind leg, okay, parallel to the runway. So here I'm going, downwind leg now. And I'm keeping an eye, because we don't have an engine, we only get one shot to land this. Okay, so I'm keeping an eye on our landing zone, which is near my car, where we took off from in the corner.
Okay.
Okay, and you can see the other glider landing now.
That's what we saw out here.
That's it, yeah. So now I'm flying downwind, and I'm keeping an eye on the angle. You know, because I basically judge it by the angle. So I'm looking at the landing area. I would say we're a touch high, so I can extend my circuit out a little bit to compensate for that. We don't want to be doing the final turn when we turn back towards the airfield below 300 feet.
Right. That could we come in too low then?
Yes, it's too much risk then.
Yeah.
So I'm travelling this way. Now as I come past, I can no longer see the airfield because it's gone behind my wing. Yeah. So I start a diagonal turn so I can keep the landing area in sight. Just about 500 feet, so I can stretch back just a little bit.
So when you say stretch back, you
just extend a little bit further, yeah.
Right, yeah.
We aim to be within a certain cone. If you imagine a cone coming off the runway, that's what we aim to be in. So I want my approach speed to be about 55 knots. Here we go. Turning a final approach now. It's good. And then the air brakes will come out. And that helps control my descent.
Like you say, 300, that's kind of spot on there.
Yeah, that's it, about 55 knots. Down we go. I tried to keep the speed about 55.
Are you doing that with the nose?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And I round out. And we're down. There we go.
Well, Lee, that was amazing.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Excellent, hey?
Yeah.
Good stuff. And you did really well as well. Your coordination was spot on.
Oh, thank you. That I really